Yep. Hello, welcome to the Gers TV. My name is Si Leslie. We've got Lewis, we've got Ryan, and we've got Gordy. The gang are all here tonight. How are we doing, guys?
All good yourself?
Living the dream. Ryan?
I'm buzzing, mate. Buzzing. Not too sure how I'm feeling about tomorrow night yet, mate. I'm still very much the jury's still out. I've no doubt have us losing tomorrow morning and scudding them 3-0 tomorrow night by the time it starts. So we'll see how we go.
Gordy?
That's the spirit, Ryan. Cheer us all up right at the start of the show. Top of the show. Get us all G'd up for it. I'm good, mate. Thank you. Hope you are as well.
No, everybody's good. Right, folks, before we start, could I ask you to please like, share the channel, share it onto your own page or whatever you've got. We've got comments coming in, and if you want to put a comment, we would welcome that as well. I think the biggest topic's going to be a couple of maybe 10-minute chat on the weekend, but there's a massive game for Rangers tomorrow night in Athens. So, let's start off, guys. The game at the weekend, Rangers versus Middlesbrough. 2 each. My biggest concern with the last couple of weeks, because I've been quite impressed with the way the team's playing, but for an example, tomorrow night, Rangers cannot have 45 minutes of being basically pish. We have to have 90 minutes. And the last 3 games that we played, the first 45 minutes have been awful. That needs to stop tomorrow night. Yep. Thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, well, you're spot on, as you were saying there. Of course, one bad half, one good half. Kind of reminds me a wee bit of Michael Beale. That's kind of how it was under Michael Beale as well. We start off on the wrong foot and then we come back in the second half. We can't have that. You need to start on the strong foot, especially away from home. I think you need to sort of set that as well.
Aye. Guys?
You go first, Gordy.
Yeah, I just agree with both Simon and Lewis. I'll go one further as well. How many games last season? Forget, obviously, Michael Beale, even under Clement and Barry Ferguson, how often did we go 2-0 down? It was a big thing, actually, and it was the same at the weekend, going 2-0 down. So, yeah, and what slightly encourages me is that Russell Martin seems to have called it out. And he came on at the weekend and said, look, this isn't good enough. So he must be aware of it. He must have watched a lot of Rangers games for last season, and he seems to have called it out. Whether he can do that, whether he can change much about it soon rather than later is up to him as a manager, but he seems to have called it out, seems to have caught it, and hopefully, as we're all hoping, we can start on the front foot tomorrow.
Aye, I mean, one of the things that I noticed in the matchday programme when it showed you the squads for Rangers and Middlesbrough, Rangers had almost double the players. That's far too many players at this club. Some of these guys are on their last legs, have been given opportunities. Russell Martin's gave them chances, and he's now telling you in a press conference, the first time I've ever heard that he doesn't like the body language and the attitude of the players. Most of the guys that he's talking about, he's not named them, will be hopefully gone in the next 2 weeks because we can't carry that size of squad and we need a few players in.
Yeah, who do you think it is he's referring to?
I think he was referring to most of the guys in the first half. To be honest, the game, there's a lot of young boys and they didn't really look up to scratch. I don't know if he meant individual players, but I think he was meaning collectively. That was it. That first half and the 3 games, more so the friendlies, was an opportunity for these guys to save their contracts and careers with Rangers. None of them done it.
So it's obvious that the squad depth isn't where he wants it to be. He's obviously fielded his weaker 11 to start with and finished it off with a stronger 11. You know, your guys, like, pretty obvious that Dessers isn't going to fit in his plans as far as the formation and the style that he's played. Dessers was anonymous, the 45 minutes that he played. And I know we have our good days and we have our bad days with Big Cyril, but that was a bad day, certainly at the office for him. Because Rami's questionable. There's all sorts of things all over the park. It's just there's questionable players. But when it gets to the stage where publicly the manager's coming out and commenting your body language, he's questioning their professionalism as well. We've been calling this out for years. 2 or 3 years we've been calling about, and
I think it's good to hear.
Aye, we spoke about, like, almost, for want of a better description, a cancer within our club of piss poor attitude from piss poor players and just effectively stealing a wage office. And I'm glad to see that the manager's going to call it out and he's actually hopefully going to try and drive it out the club and look to get winners back in for us.
Well, I mean, he's not a mug. He's obviously realised that he was on a hiding to nothing. The fans gave him a hard time when he first came in, and I include myself. I gave him a bit of hard time for he's a bit of a scruffy character. But I do like his attitude. I like what he's trying to do. I know it's early doors, but the goals that we've scored and performances in the second half, so I think I can see the kind of football he's trying to play, possession-based football, and he's also trying to get rid of the dead wood. His job's on the line if he doesn't get rid of the dead wood, and if he has as Gordy's mentioned a minute ago, if we start the next couple of months going 2-0 down every week, he won't keep his job after Christmas. So he's identified that. To be fair, he's identified that, and a lot of players have now lost their chance to play for Rangers. I think one of them's Ross McCausland, the other one's Proper, but Proper had to go anyway. Yep. I don't think Proper's as bad a player as we all make it, but he's nowhere near suited to Scottish football.
Yeah, well, I think it shows that he's well thought of over in Holland as well, of course, returning to his former club. Shows that he's well thought of as well, and I think they paid near enough 2 million or something like that for him, so, I mean...
Oh, you know he's got to score. It's going to be a Sam Lammers one, isn't it?
Aye, I know, exactly. You get players who come over and they just don't suit the system, you know what, they come over and they're made to look like absolute diddies, and part of you still feel a bit sorry for them as much as they're not performing right. They come over and they're sort of thrown under the bus a bit, and don't get me wrong, like, Proper was never a solid defender, never. But he came in, we all thought very highly of him, we all thought he was going to come in as another leader within the squad as well, of course being the captain at 20, but it just never showed and unfortunately never worked out for him, but of course all the best for him.
It's for the best for everybody, that move.
Aye, yeah, exactly.
And I think the same with Ross. Ross McCausland was an honest professional with Rangers and he's got to live the dream, the Ulsterman's dream, but I just don't think that there was any future with him at the club. And I wish him all the best. Yeah, and he'll be a better player getting away there. It's effectively a big holiday. He's going to Cyprus and get himself a new career, and he'll get a better club, I think, after that.
No, I hope so.
He'll always be welcome back.
No, of course. I mean, a Rangers man grew up.
Just want to pick up something Simon mentioned a few minutes ago. The size of our squad right now is scary, and we need to start trimming. We need to start trimming these guys.
Because that's all wages.
I know, and that's the biggest hold up in getting in new players. As much as the 49ers have come in and there is a wee bit of money there, at last to spend. The fact of the matter is, I think there's something like 44 players or something that was listed. I think we all seen the same post, and I personally didn't realise. Just we've got guys that should never play for us again. But the hard part is going to be finding a club for them because they're going to be on big wages at Rangers.
As much as it kind of pissed me off a bit, right, seeing all these guys that shouldn't be playing for us playing these games, that's the reason they're playing them. They're trying to put them in a short window to get rid of them. It's the only way to get rid of players at times is playing them in these friendlies.
Got to show their fitness. There's
probably about 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 players in that squad as well. And as much as you were saying, Gordy, I think we've all seen that same photo of the size of the squad. There's probably about 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 players in there that can easily get rid of. Well, not easily get rid of, but we'll never play for Rangers again. Well, you've got your Ben Davies, you've got Cifuentes, Matondo, etc. You've got, as you mentioned there, McCausland.
There's rumours tonight that we've accepted a bid for Davies.
Right.
So internet rumours, very unconfirmed, but there's still rumours nonetheless. We've accepted a bid. Birmingham City have come back from.
I think that would suit both teams.
Ideal then. I mean, he did no bad down at Birmingham anyways, and apparently we've also accepted a bid from Besiktas for £1.75 million or €2 million as well for Adnan Yilmaz. So
how can that be when you came in 20 minutes ago last year and then the Rangers news you said no?
Well, that was yesterday.
Holding back on this year.
It's all breaking. It's all breaking as we're live on air side. That's why.
He's pleading there. Didn't know anything about. There's nothing happening, and then he's got to go the backhanders.
You said in the last half an hour.
Yeah. Do you believe that Eagleman's get a knock as well? Funny that.
No, I think Eagleman will be away in the next week. Unfortunately, that there's going to be times where we've spoken about this with the new regime. They're going to make decisions that might not be popular, but that's one that you have to. If we want if we want to buy players. And we want things to get better, then we need better financial fair play. So we need to trade, and we need to be making money in the trading, and that's one of the consequences of it.
Well, as we've mentioned before in the channel as well, it's the player trading model, and we've seen it plenty of times with Rangers. Of course, Nathan Patterson went down south for big money. Calvin Bassey went to Ajax for about £20-25 million, and not even with Rangers, but with the dark side of Glasgow as well, and even other teams as well. You've got Aberdeen selling Lewis Ferguson.
It's the only way to do it. But on the plus point of that, Ryan, is Danilo has started to. He's had a great pre-season. It's his first proper pre-season in years, maybe 3 or 4 years seasons, and he might just be the answer. I hope he's going to be the answer because he's certainly giving it his all, and that would be one position sorted. But I still think we need another striker at the club.
I think the big boy. Sorry, mate, crack on.
I think Danilo's one of the players. He reminds me a little bit of Fashion Sakala. He goes out in the pitch. You can always tell he's going to give his all, but you can never tell if he's going to perform, to be honest, because last season and the season before, even when he was playing as well, he was very on and off, to be honest. He scored a few goals. He scored that goal at Ibrox, that like goal against Hearts, but he never really did much. But he always went out in the pitch and always gave his all, and as I said, reminds me a bit of Fashion Sakala in that sense.
Yeah.
Right, mate, going to say that?
I'm sorry, I just don't rate him as a player. Like, I'm really, really sorry. It's horrible to say about a Rangers player, but I'm not a fan. I'm not being a fan of him, and I feel a bit sorry for him, the fact that he's been injured, etc. But at the end of the day, for 5 minutes, we paid something like £5 million for him or something. He's obviously on 25, 30 grand a week. I just don't think he's worth the money. And if we could get a couple of million for him and get him off the wages, then I'd be happy with that. But
that's back to what I'm alluding to. But we need to get the player trading right. We can't keep buying players and losing it on into deals.
Don't get me wrong, I'd be happy. I'd be delighted for him to prove me wrong. It's just like I've got the same feeling about players like Jeffrey and Ridvan as well now. I just don't particularly rate them as Rangers quality, it pains me to admit them because I think there is players in there. But Danilo's been with us for 2 seasons now. He's played a handful of games, scored a handful of goals, and I think we now try and sell him on. But listen, I'm happy for him to prove me wrong.
The one thing I will say in his defence, because I can't really disagree with a lot of that, but he's had a good pre-season, as I said, but the one thing I will say is he's had 2 really bad injuries. The skull injury, there's not much you can do when that happens to you. So maybe they're going to, and the manager's maybe seen something in training.
Listen, as I say, that's why Russell Martin's in charge of Rangers and I'm not. Do you know what I mean? So I'm absolutely fine with it. And if he goes on and scores 20 goals this season, that's absolutely fine. Great. Bring it on. But I'm sorry, based on what I've seen in the last couple of years, I don't see it happening. But I'm happy to be proved wrong. Absolutely.
Right.
I think we've probably got to remember with Dino as well, we're not quite the finished article as far as the final stud's concerned. We've still to see the boy Asgard coming in. I think Asgard and Danilo could, potentially link up. Asgard likes to be strong and powerful and get in about the box. Danilo likes to play on the edge of the box and link up play and try and find wee pockets in behind the partnership there. We're still very much after 2, maybe even 1 or 2 wingers. Finlay Curtis has been a shining bright. Finlay Curtis could save us millions of pounds and not having to go out and spend millions of pounds on players that we don't know who they are.
Right place at the right time.
Really, to be honest, aye. So I think there's still, there's still opportunities for Danilo, but he needs to prove himself. He does need to prove himself now. There'll be guys that will come into the club if Dessers leaves, if Iggerman leaves, that'll be looking to take the jersey right off his back. So he's got to step up to the mark and prove himself now. It's never for him.
Well, you're talking about wingers there as well, and I think we can't no mention the 2 wingers that have been linked to the club recently as well. You've got Oliver Antman from Go Ahead Eagles in the Eredivisie, and you've got the young boy as well, Mikey Moore from Tottenham Hotspur to come on loan as well. It looks like the boy Mikey Moore's the one that's sort of closer to happening. Looks like it's happening now because, Sky Sports have reported on it. You've got a lot of other news articles as well that are reporting on it supposedly happening as well. I don't think we'll see anything happen before tomorrow night, but I think we'll see something maybe happen some point through this week.
Russell Martin did say last week or 2 weeks ago, he said in 4 weeks' time it'll be a completely different squad. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just telling you my opinion on this. I think we'll get it. I think if we win, if we qualify tomorrow night, by the weekend, both players will be at Ibrox.
I would hope so. I hope so.
The young boy for Spurs looks phenomenal. Mickey Moores. He looks.
Well, he broke into the Spurs team sort of last season, even the beginning, the end of the season before as well. He sort of broke into the Spurs team as well, and looks a very promising young player as well. I'd be delighted to have him in on loan. Of course,
but he's only a young boy.
Yeah, of course he's only a young boy as well. You can't throw him right into the deep end. You've got to sort of phase him into it as well, especially in Scottish football. It's very different to sort of down south, so you've got to sort of phase him into it as well and be a young boy. But
what I will say, I've watched the YouTube videos of him, right? We've all done that. We've done it a million times, right? The Seaborn, that you've watched the YouTube and you think he's brilliant. But this boy seems to be, at all levels, he's done it so far. But coming to Rangers could make or break him because look at Tillman. Tillman's worth a fortune now. He's a great player, yet there was people on the fanzines, on the website, sorry, and chats and different forums, even ours, telling you that the guy wasn't good enough.
I'm a Diallo as well.
There's Diallo's another one. So it's going to be hard for that young boy if we get him. But obviously Spurs will be sending him out to us for that exact reason, to make him a man. But I've seen the boy's skills and the type of football he plays, and a lot of people that watch the show for years know when I talk about my old BB days when I used to play football. That's probably the closest you'll get to my BB days as a young boy, is that boy Mike. He looks fantastic.
Oh, good.
Can't add to that really. That's analysis done now, Simon. Whenever Simon refers to the old BB days, that's when you know that's the final analysis.
That's the tough pitches. That's the tough pitches in the 1980s. Marcy still get the scars.
Your name's at the top of the marble stairs already.
As much as we do need a couple more wingers as well, we've already got, well, you've got Gassama, you've got Finlay Curtis as well, who's, as we mentioned as well, looks to be a shining star within the team. Of course, you've got Kieran Dowell as well, who Russell Martin seems to like. Apparently, has liked him since his Norwich days. So also, I don't think we'll see him go.
You've also got the Cortes. Obviously, they had to buy Cortes. I think talking to a boy today about this, he's another one that got a really bad injury at a really bad time. His knee went. To see the best of him, he's going to have to be full fitness, and he's probably going to be another couple of games. I've still got my doubts, but before he came to Rangers, it was a big signing for us. So he's not going anywhere. We've just took him on, haven't we, with that contract? So he's another one. But the two new wingers means, I read something interesting today. I think it was on one of the fan sites, that whatever game we play, we won't keep the same wingers on the park. We'll keep changing it so it freshens it up. Yep. And that's quite an interesting philosophy. I quite like the idea of that.
It's having options from the bench. You know, it was done with great success, unfortunately, across the city. For a couple of years with Postecoglou, he basically he trained these players so that we'd all play 60 to 65 minutes. Those guys knew today you're going to play 60 to 65 minutes. Run now for that. And basically they knew that they would empty their tank within that period of time, and there'd be another guy of equal quality that would come onto the park and finish the game off. And usually by more often than not, they were already bloody 2 or 3-0 up at that point as well, because of the style of play that they had. So if we can create something like that, where we've got 2 guys sitting there and we've got basically 3 or 4 subs that we can make at all times, obviously barring injuries, unexpected, red cards and stuff like crazy things that can happen. But that should be the tactic, that we're able to do that, as well as rotating the defence week to week as we see fit as well. We've got an ageing captain. You know, we've got to move over. We've got to make sure that we're getting used to our centre halves as well, keeping guys fit. We've got potentially 60 games coming up again this season, so we've got to make sure we've got a deep squad to be able to handle that.
Aye, I mean, before we go to the European game, I think that's a big thing we talk about, is if all the places, all the positions at Ibrox, the only concern I've got just now is the defence, because there's no way Tavernier can play every game next season, this season.
Well, I think that's where we'll probably see Max Aarons probably start at right back. As much as we've seen him at left back start of this season as well, in pre-season, of course, the Panathinaikos game there as well. I think we will see Max Aarons probably start out on the right hand side, and maybe even Jeff Durbin, or even Dujon Sterling when he comes back as well on the left, or even Robbie Fraser as well, another young boy in the squad.
Look at all these players. Aye, so the boy Max Aarons, sorry, God, over 2 seconds. We can't judge him into who plays his correct position, because it's no fair to judge him in. Gordy?
I know, I was just about to say, even though we're talking, we're still talking, but we just listed 3 or 4 left backs there. I mean, how many left backs use at the club? I mean, it's crazy. But I was making a point, what Ryan said about Ange, about the subs. I think Gerrard did that as well. Gerrard was kind of good at that. He would use the whole squad. And I think at the time of COVID, he'd use 5 subs a game. And that's why our squad got so big at the time, because Gerrard did that. And he did that to quite a good effect as well. So if Russell Martin's thinking that, and then after 50, 60 minutes, if your wingers aren't playing well, then if you've got 2 wingers coming to replace them with a different threat, different options. So yeah, let's go for it. And
the other thing I'll say before we go into the European is the boy Rothwell that's came into the team. I think the biggest thing that he's going to do for Rangers is he's going to, I don't really know if you call it a donkey work, but we had the manager saying that he thought that Raskin was doing maybe 2 jobs rather than 1, and he wanted to be more attacking. I think that was what they thought when they got Raskin and Todd Cantwell at the time. I think now Rothwell will be the ball winner and he'll do all that kind of work, and he looks like a fantastic asset to Rangers, and that'll make Raskin a far better player, and that can only boost our midfield.
You were speaking earlier on last season, Si, about getting 3 guys across the middle of the park and matching teams up. Diamandi and Raskin couldn't handle what was going. They were constantly they were coming up a combination of McGregor, Engels, Hatate, Bernardo, and they were basically playing against 3 guys at all times. And there's nothing that Raskin and Diamandi can do. They were just basically just running right. They were just passing the ball around them. And there's nothing 2 guys could do, because Clement just refused to change his tactic, and ultimately got him binned. They got him the sack because he just wasn't willing to adapt and change anything. Wee Barry came in and changed it a back 3-3-5-2 away to Fenerbahce and stuffed one of the best managers in the history of football, just because he didn't see it coming and what we were going to do that night. So
we said that for the start. We said that for the start with Clement as well, how stubborn he was with his tactics and with his players as well. We said that.
But he get binned. That's like, he lost his job, was it?
Exactly.
But as I say, I think that's the plan. I think Russell Martin's looked at that exactly what we're saying. He's looked at it as a stupid position to be in where you're not going to change tactics, because they're not saying that Russell Martin won't change his tactics. I think he will, and he's adapted. He's got a player in. He's a Rothwell, I would say, is a kind of Stuart McCall type player, and he's got the experience, and I think he'll handle that. I think he'll handle the situation well, and he'll be a big player for us this season.
He'll not change his shapes. He'll not change his philosophy, his tactics. He'll change his shape. See if he feels as if he needs an extra defender in there to help play out for the back, he'll do that. He'll drop somebody in and he'll sacrifice somebody from the top side of the park. But as far as playing it out from the back and kind of the tactics and the style that he plays, he'll not do that. He'll just maybe change a couple of guys about as far as different positions in the park. And he might sit in my back 3, he might sit in my back 5. Depends who we're playing. Depends on what we need to do. And also what we need to do in games and stuff like that as well. If we're going out on Wednesday night, tomorrow night, and we're looking for, if we get to 0-0 with 20 minutes to go, every possibility just is, right, boys, get in and just let's just slow this down a bit and hold this back. It's 40 degrees, we've been out here for 70 minutes, let's just have a wee think about what we're doing here.
So before we go to the tomorrow night's game, I've not got my glasses on, but there's a lot of comments came in, I think so anyway, if you want to read some of it. I'll
read these out to you. I'll go around just for comments there. So first one, obviously thanks to everyone for the comments, guys. Good one here for Johnny. Mentioned he's spoken to Ross McCausland personally, so a great lad, and basically, to be honest, the quality just isn't there to be a Rangers player, that he's gutted for him. So obviously he spoke to him in person, which is a shame. And that's been just reinforced here by Stephen. Just saying one of the things is we spoke about physicality and needing to put on a bit more weight and applying himself in the gym, but it's sometimes hard that these guys are just a small frame to do it. Again, about Danilo's 2 bad injuries as well, we spoke about. James is tuning in the night from Coventry. How we doing, James? And Peter's just come back to you and said what you were saying there. The defence is needing straight. A couple of us get daft goals against the 2 friendlies. I thought the 2 goals that we lost on Saturday were criminal, to be honest with you. They were weak as piss. And then there's my big pal having a moan about your mic loose. So,
my mic,
so, but that's it. That's your comments so far, mate.
Aye, no, cool. So let's go on. It's a big game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock tomorrow night in Athens. It's not in their normal stadium. It's in an international stadium, I believe. But it's going to be really warm. It's going to be humid. And also, I think that they actually played really well at Ibrox in the first half an hour at least. And they could have been 2 or 3 up. So it's going to be a really, really big test for the club tomorrow night.
How do you think it'll go, Gordon?
I was going to come in and say, I know it's a cliche, but Russell Martin said last week, that these games aren't season defining, but you think about the prestige and the money at stake, and the fact that he has to come in, hit the ground running with the fans, because let's face it, he wasn't everyone's top choice. I actually think that he's trying to downplay that. I think they are season defining, because I think if we get through tomorrow night, we've got a better chance on paper in the next round against possibly Servette, and then if we get through that, we're guaranteed Europa League.
Just to jump in, I'll let you finish. And the opposite is if we get beat with them, it's a harder. I think it'll be Shakhtar Donetsk in the Europa, which will be even harder.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So, you never know what's going to happen, but their top boy was sent off, wasn't he, last week? So I think he's away for 10 million odds, so they're no mugs, and that's a relief as well. I think that we rode a luck in the first half. Simon, you mentioned it. I think we all mentioned it. We were lucky to win 0-0 at half time. Jack Butland had his critics. We criticised him same as everyone else, but he kept us in the game, to be fair to him. And yeah, we were in the second half and played better. But yeah, it's a difficult, hostile atmosphere, clammy weather. It's going to be a tough game. But I think we should be. I think we'll get through. I think it'll be squeaky bum time. I think it'll be 1-0 Para, to be perfectly honest, final score. But I think we'll get through in the end.
My
And
big thing is, I think we
defining.
need, I think we need to do the first half hour and try and not lose a goal, because if we lose a goal early doors, the panic button could happen. It might not happen, but I'll certainly be panicking.
We need to
I think
prevent
we need
that.
to try and
Cy.
go half an hour. Aye, do you know what? I don't think we will, but if we could score in the first 20 minutes, the third goal at Ibrox would have been icing in the cake, but it never happened. But I think if we could get a cheeky wee goal in the first half hour, but if it went to 2-1, it's going to be really hard for us.
Aye. The thing tomorrow night is our MO tomorrow night. Our mission is basically to get a goal. We need to score, right? Get a goal, and it doesn't matter. See if we go 1-0 down, don't panic. Your leaders on the park, your Taverniers, your Raskins, your Jack Butlins, all need to get round and say, right, but don't panic. This is okay, right? All we need to do, and even if we go 2-0 down, don't panic. All we need to do is score a goal, and we will get through this tie. So just focus on getting a goal. Set pieces need to count. If we get a chance to get up the park and make sure there's good deliveries in. Don't waste your opportunities, but also make sure we're keeping the back door shut as well. All times these silly set pieces that we're losing.
Well, what I've been thinking about the last maybe day or two as well is how is Russell Martin actually going to approach this game? Is he going to approach it with the sort of confident mentality of going there and scoring a couple of goals in the first half, whatever like we've seen plenty of times last season as well? We've seen against Nice, but we also seen it in a couple of seasons beforehand, of course, against Dortmund. So, or is he going to approach it with more sort of Walter Smith approach and sort of try grind out a sort of 0-0 or even a 1-0 loss or something like that, right? But try sort of drag it through.
I don't know.
I think he'll play attacking. I don't think Russell Martin's a defensive coach. I really don't. I think he'll tell our players to keep the ball. But look, we've still got the same nucleus of the squad that's got to the last 16, the last couple of seasons. We've still got the Raskin, Tavernier, Butland, Dessers even that played these games regularly. Suter that have played these games regularly in Europe. They know are doing away from home. So we don't really have. If you think about it that way, we don't really have anything to fear, of course. But well, he could go. I think we'll go through it. I think we'll set up to score a goal. I think he will, Ryan and Lewis. What you said there, I think he will, and I think we'll get through.
Just to go back on what Ryan said, right? Something that I actually think I've meant to mention this. I've moaned about this constantly for 2 years as a set pieces, and I think Russell Martin's identified that. And I actually think we look a lot more dangerous at corners now and free kicks. And that might be tomorrow night might be a case of any chance that we get for a set piece could be vital.
We shopping landed the Giants side. We've got to be surely a better threat now. Set pieces. We've got a centre back that's 6'5" or something like that.
He's massive.
So we've got to be looking at that.
Aye, no, I mean 100%. The other thing is, if you score first, sorry, Gordy, if you score first, it's all right saying they're a passionate support, but the Greeks aren't so passionate if they're not in their own stadium and they go 3-0 down. They'll not be so passionate then. They'll be aggressive towards their players. And if you're saying that,
that reminds me of us.
Aye, but did you say that they're selling their best player as well? Did one of you say, I think it was Gordy, said they're selling their best player to get sent off? So they might turn on them. So that's how I'd be looking at it, is try and get that third goal.
I was about to say is that, listen, I would say that from a squad point of view, with the additions we brought in, we're in a better place than we were last season. And we went away Olympiacos and played really well. Olympiacos are a better team than Panathinaikos. So we've nothing to fear. We shouldn't go feeding anything over there. We went to Turkey last year, got a great result. We went away to France and got a great result. Even Malmo under Clement as well. So Man United away, we just failed in the last couple of minutes. With the nucleus of the same squad, plus the additions like Rothwell, Gazama, etc. So I think we'll go through. I don't think it'll be comfortable, but I think we will go through, and I think we'll score.
I mean, we don't really care how good we play if we go through. We just want to get through.
Exactly. The results.
Well, that's it. So,
Ryan, you going to say something, mate?
No, just basically what I've kind of reiterated. It's just we've just got to make sure we just get ourselves through a tie. Whatever we need to do. A wee snatch and grab 2008 all over again with wee Novo would do me absolutely fine. get us on to the next round.
I definitely think it's going to be, we're going to need the subs in more tonight as well, because we're going to need fresh legs. It's going to be, how warm is it in Glasgow? So how warm will it be in Athens?
Talking 40 degrees over there. That's what There's a couple of boys I know that are out there just now and they're saying it's absolutely stifling. So there's no way for playing football.
Unfortunately, we're playing, so we're going to have to get used to it. We're going to have to rotate the squad a wee bit. But he's been doing that, to be fair, he's been doing that. And last week they were saying at St George's Park, the training, it was roasting down there anyway. Maybe not the same heat, but a lot of intensity. Can we get the comments? Has our comments came in?
Just one here, coming from Peter here. Don't think it's a Martin's toolbox to play a defensive game. Think we'll score, think we'll go through. Like the positivity behind that, to be honest. Absolutely perfect for me. There's not a lot of comments coming in tonight, guys, so get your everybody a bit quiet, feeling the nerves for tomorrow night, so get your 10 pence in, we'll get you talking.
We've not only got a big game tomorrow as well, we've got the first game of the season coming up as well on Saturday, so sort of need to set ourselves up for that as well. And sort of...
Well, the thing I'll say about that is back to just what we were talking about a minute ago. Motherwell away, Motherwell always come out of traps against us. Yep. The players will be exhausted. Yeah. The players will be exhausted, so that'll be a hard first league game.
Motherwell took several points of it last week. Motherwell beat us at Ibrox, drew at Fir Park. We just scored. We just beat them at Hampden in the first kind of couple of games of the season last season. So, County played them 3 times, drew 1, lost 1, and won 1, which is an abysmal record. It's a bottom 6 clubs. So, it'll be a tough game. And plus, they've still got that youngster Lennon Miller as well playing. So, don't know if he'll actually start. He's linked away, but he's still with them as well. So,
I was talking to my pal earlier on as well, and I'm very, very surprised how Motherwell have actually kept a hold of him as well, considering a good few clubs have came in with interest, of course.
Oh, that's a great coup. That's a great coup for them.
Oh, of course it is. But of course, slight interest as well from us and the other side as well. But you've got interest as well coming from abroad, Italy, even down south as well, Spain, Germany. You've got a lot of interest in the young boy Lennon Miller.
Probably priced him too high. £4 or £5 million for a Motherwell player.
I was going to say they priced him at about 5 or 6 million. I know you're right.
But at the time, I think about 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, whatever it was, Rangers had the chance to buy either or, because they get the chance at him or Bailey Rice, I believe, and they bought one rather than the two of them, and they would have got to two of them for £40,000. Yeah. That's what I was told yesterday when I was at Ibrox. £40,000 would have got to two of them, and they were big emerging talents. We went for one. We went the cheap option, and the boy Lennon Miller could have been. I really like Bailey Rice, so I'm not going to knock him. But the boy Miller looks a real proper talent.
Oh, of course it does.
So arguments that Rice still could be the player that Lennon is. You know, if
it could be at that level, yeah.
You know, if you left, you know,
with less pressure.
Just opportunity more than anything else, because Rice hasn't had a decent enough crack at the backs. I thought he was going to play centre half on Sunday or Saturday. Sorry, when I see the team lines come up, obviously.
He started off at centre. Oh, he started off.
I think he was he not?
He started off in the 6th row, then sort of finished off in the sort of centre half. It seemed like.
Well, I thought for the first 20 minutes we were all over the place of defence. I couldn't keep up with who was where.
I know.
It's like watching you playing for the BB.
It was. Well, I was up with Tap Row and Copeland Road, so I was struggling to see it a wee bit. Getting old, it's hard to see sometimes. But the defence looked all over the place. But the second half, when they put a bit more strength in it, the defence looked a lot better and settled.
It's abundantly obvious the difference in class, right? A couple of comments coming in here. One for Jim Ward, a wee bit more positivity, sorry. Not a problem for tomorrow night. And Neil Reid is tuning in from Toronto. And then,
hi Neil, how you doing, mate?
One year for Dylan.
Next year for the World Cup, we'll see.
Yeah, and a 1 year for Dylan here. Rice needs more game time. Should be looking for a loan for him within the league for a boy to develop, and hopefully in the near future he can take on the asking role. So,
is that Dylan just on the control? So Dylan's just joined us, Gers TV tonight, guys. So big welcome to him. He's doing the controls tonight, but he'll be
I think
under pressure next week.
I think towards the end of the window, if we haven't managed to move on a few people, I think that's something we should probably consider, is getting Rice out on loan, getting him moved on. So, you know,
it'd have to be the right club, but aye.
If you stuck him into somebody like Falkirk or something.
Sorry guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to log off on now, okay? So I'm just signing off quickly with my prediction for tomorrow. You waiting for it? Panathinaikos 1, Rangers 2, 4-1 in aggregate. See you tomorrow, guys.
Good night, mate.
Right, good night.
He's not away yet, we can't talk about him yet. That's how I'm going.
He talks all that shit, doesn't he? No, but
all of a sudden it looks better.
somebody like Falkirk or something like that would be ideal for him. You know, under the wing of
Aye.
Scotty Arfield, that'd be ideal.
The difference with him and McCausland is McCausland's on he's on a loan deal, but it's not a loan deal when he's coming back to Rangers. If we're being fair, Bailey Rice could get a loan deal, but he would be coming back just stronger. And you're right, if you go to the right club for him.
Yeah, of course. And as we were talking about there as well, comparing him to Lennon Miller when we had the chance to bring in both of them to Rangers, I mean, as we were saying, he probably would be at that level that Lennon Miller is at now if he got the opportunity, and as we said, less pressure as well. If he got that game time at Rangers, even take the pressure away from it. If he got that game time at Rangers that Lennon Miller got at Miller, well, I think he'd be even better. Be an even better player than Lennon Miller, I think, as well. With the experience that he's getting in Europe, and not only in Europe, in the league as well.
Well, the future's got to be, we're going to get this player trading right, we're going to get young players coming through the team, because if no, there is absolutely no point in having an academy, because the amount of players that have came through in the last 20 years is shocking.
Well, there's been a fair bit of talk as well since Josh Gentles has been sort of phased into the first team during pre-season. I think we might see a little bit more of him this season as well. I don't really know much of what he offers. I don't really see much of the B team or the under 21s. No, so I don't know. I don't know what he'll offer. I don't know what type of player he is. I know he's a forward, and I'm pretty sure he's a Welsh youth international. I'm pretty sure. So
he was in League One last season. I think you'll see us aiming towards getting him into a championship this season, as far as the loan's concerned. Moving somewhere like that.
One for the future.
I think it's just he's been a wee he's taken advantage of circumstances in that the Eagleman and Dessers were late back, and we only had this one fit striker, in Danilo. So he's obviously kind of helping him kind of the burden of the minutes. It's not feasible for Danilo to play 90 minutes of every single friendly. So there's a wee couple of opportunities come up there. And it might have caught the manager's eye. Certainly Finlay Curtis has benefited from that and caught the manager's eye.
Definitely.
We Gentles maybe not quite as much, but you know, it might just be a case of say, listen, stick him back out on loan for another year, and we'll see him in a year's time. He needs to fill out. He's a beanpole. He needs to get himself, you know, into the gym and get himself filled out and discover his man strength if he's going to make it.
Aye. Right, so let's get the predictions for tomorrow night. Gordy's gave you his. I'm going to go 1-0 to Rangers.
I'm going to say one each.
I was going to say one each. Right. 0-0 to Rangers.
Dylan's hearing us, so if you want to comment yours as well, Dylan, we'll get yours going.
Yeah.
And if you want to give your comments on the chat, what you think the score's going to be as well. It's a massive game for Rangers. We really need to qualify for it.
Yeah.
Have we got comments coming in now, guys?
Just get one last one here, Peter. I feel we don't know how to deal with the SPFL teams who've pressed us. I think he's talked about it in the past. Looked very panicky and just wanted rid of the ball, but Martin looks to have his passing the ball more comfortably. Still a few missing the passing in there. Still work to be done. I think that's pretty much it. If we sharpen ourselves up as far as the style of play, we need one more classy centre half in there. Connor Cody would have been absolutely ideal for us, but we need somebody in that kind of model who comfortable taking the ball out and basically can be, you know, pass their way around it. And teams will get frustrated against us if we're playing against Motherwell and on Saturday coming and we're playing the ball, but eventually their fans are going to go into them. They're just going to snap and just go for the ball, pass the ball around them. Talented players will get the ball at the park and we score because we've managed to bring them into our half. And that's one thing that we've always found difficult, is getting teams to come out and play against us. So if we just play in front of them, frustrate them, get the ball at the park, do the damage.
But that's one thing I will say about the pre-season. Sorry, we can moan and fans moan, but the goals that we've scored have been really good goals, and they've been similar goals, so they've obviously worked on them. But Middlesbrough, how many passes was it was it the second goal? 35 passes or something. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Ryan. It's just slowly bringing these teams out and dealing with it in a different way, because Peter's right, in the past it's no worked. And that was our downfall, wasn't it? The bigger teams, it was the smaller teams we couldn't break down.
The two goals against Panathinaikos were toppers. You know, both the goals, we Curtis a special. I was made up for him getting his first competitive goal for his Ibrox. And the boy Gassama, he's only the back a matter of seconds and he's smashing the ball back into the back of the net. So it's, you know, positive signs.
Aye, so anything else for the night, guys? I don't know the time, but I think that's probably...
Nathan's just chucked a couple of names out there. So Cody, I just mentioned, we said Turgerman's the Israeli striker that we can look at. I think that's done. I think that's basically a done deal. It's just a case of getting somebody out the door first before he comes in. But that's a name that just won't seem to disappear, and I think all parties are quite willing to do it. So I think that's somebody who you'll see at Ibrox just as soon as we've created a wee bit of space for him. Obviously, Ant-Man's been one that's been mentioned there. He seems like basically a very talented boy. Play both wings as well, which is something I think Martin quite likes. His guys that are actually versatile. They can play both sides of the flanks.
Aye, no, interesting. Any more?
No, that's us. Oh, couple of predictions. Dylan 2-0, Peter 1 each, Nathan 3-1 at Rangers comfortable.
Fantastic. Guys, it's been a good night. Aye, I think so. It's been a good night. Thanks to everybody that's been involved. Gordy, Ryan, Lewis, Dylan, nearly called him Brandon. Dylan, I was getting his name mixed up through the week. Everybody that's contributed to the show as well. It's going to get bigger and better. Lots of plans for the future. And all it remains for me to say is tomorrow night, I hope all the fans are safe and enjoy themselves. Yeah, and good luck to Rangers, because the support in general, we really need a lift, and this is a big, big season for us. And I'm quietly confident.
Yeah, of course. I'm 100% confident that we'll get through. I think Panathinaikos will score first. I think they'll score probably at some point in the first half, no long before half time. I can see he's getting a wee goal about 75th minute and sort of dragging out until full time. That's what I can see anyways.
Ryan?
Aye, much the same. I think we just need to make sure we're carrying on with a wee bit of resilience and sobriety, I think is the word we're looking for with it. We need to just be patient. There's still a lot of kind of movement. Trust the process. I don't think there's anything that we're, transfer-wise, we've not had any kind of real red flags so far. We just need to obviously make sure that these guys that are no longer part of our future need to see themselves out, and I'm sure we'll see another influx of guys coming in. Obviously, we'll find out a wee bit more about what our European future lies over the next couple of weeks as well. I'm sure that'll have a kind of determination what the budget looks like for the manager as well. But confident, just got to hit the ground running. August is a huge month for us, obviously a big game at the end of the month, especially at the Old Firm game at Ibrox. So we've got to hit the ground running here and really put the market down, guarantee ourselves a decent level of European football, Champions League ideally, Europa League minimum, get ourselves ahead, get that, and imagine if we're sitting at the end of August, 3 points clear at the top of the league, sitting in the Champions League, fantastic. So just let's get the
seatbelts on.
Let's get it on, honestly, but that's the hope, that's the prayer, so we can dream.
Yep. Seatbelts on, back your manager, back your regime, get behind it, all is one, and let's go for it. Have a good night, guys. It's been a fantastic show. Win, lose or draw, always remember,
we are
the people.